Jadon Sancho gone, no agreement. 5 million penalty paid to Manchester United. João Félix closer than ever to Benfica return. Let's be honest, no one even remembered he was still our player. Mike Maignan links are heating up. World-class goalkeeper. But what does that mean for Petrovic, Jorgensen and Sánchez? The Ekitike talks are ongoing. 100 million package, but interest growing, and we are right in the mix. Jackson future unclear if another striker arrives. And finally, a massive list of potential exits from Chilwell to Nkunku, even Madueke and Petrovic being considered. Some of it makes sense and some of it doesn't. Smash the like button, subscribe if you are new, and let's break it all down. We have got a massive update on Chelsea striker hunts. The name Hugo Ekitike has been heating up again. Fresh reports suggest Chelsea remain very active in the race. Talks are progressing, but with competition growing and doubt over player suitability. Let's break this one down properly. According to Sky Germany's Florian Plettenberg, Chelsea have held further discussion over potential signing of Hugo Ekitike from Frankfurt. While no official offer have been made, Frankfurt are not ruling out a sale this summer. However, the asking price remains steep, a whopping 100 million package being demanded. Now, that figure hasn't scared Chelsea off yet, but it's clear this deal isn't going to be simple, especially with other clubs cycling as well. Let's talk about the player. Still 22, Ekitike managed 36 goal contribution in 48 matches last season. That is goal or assist every 1.3 game, which is solid, no doubt. He's mobile, quick, technically sharp and can link play well. At his best, he looks like a modern day fluid forward who can thrive in a system like Maresca's. But here's the thing, is he the guy for us? I'm going to be honest, I have my doubts, and I'm not alone. Yes, the numbers look great. Yes, he's a high ceiling player, but when you look at Chelsea history with signing from Bundesliga, it's hardly been a success story. Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, and even Pulisic, talented player, no question, but none of them really hit the level expected at Stamford Bridge. And most importantly, Ekitike had only one real standout season at the top. 100 million for potential, that's massive risk, especially when you consider the alternative. Look, if you give me a choice between Ekitike and Victor Osimhen, I know who I'm taking. Osimhen is a proven, proper old school number 9 with elite movement, area dominance and killer instinct in the box. He's already delivered in Serie A, Turkish League and the Champions League. There's less mystery there, and there is less what if. Sure, the price is also high, but wouldn't it make more sense to go all in on a striker who has done it on the highest level? Here is where things get interesting. Chelsea aren't chasing name anymore. This is about fitting into Maresca's system. Ekitike's movement and link play will suit that short passing positional style, but there is also a risk of him being too lightweight for the Premier League, especially in high profile games where you need physicality and experience. It's also worth noting that Chelsea already signed Leon Delap, another young striker with potential. Does adding Ekitike make sense now, or are we just stacking too many projects without adding the real deal? So yeah, Ekitike is a baller, he's got talent, but is he the guy to take Chelsea to the top? Maybe. I've got my doubts. Alright guys, while we talk about strikers coming in, there is serious noise about strikers heading out as well. According to Matt Law and Jacob Steinbeck, Nicolas Jackson's future is up in the air. Yes, you heard me right. Let's break it down. Jacob Steinbeck report that if Chelsea sign 2 strikers, Nicolas Jackson's future is up in the air. And then Matt Law on the London is Blue podcast said, and I quote, "I do think there's a chance Nicolas Jackson gets sold. 2 top-tier journalists, one clear message. Chelsea aren't just browsing the striker market, they are seriously planning a reshuffle up top. And Jackson, he may not be part of the long-term picture. Let's be honest, if 2 more strikers arrive, Jackson has to be the one looking over his shoulder. Chelsea already completed the signing of Leon Delap, a physical, high-potential forward who is likely here to compete. Adding a player like Hugo Ekitike or possibly a move for Victor Osimhen or Šeško, suddenly we are looking at 4 strikers fighting for minutes. Let's not forget, Maresca is only going to play one recognized number 9, and that means if you are third choice, you are not playing, you are probably leaving. Now look, Jackson's 2 seasons was a roller coaster. He ended this campaign with 14 goals in all competition, which on paper looked decent, but we saw it all. The finishing was inconsistent, the decision making was raw. There are games where he looked unplayable and others where he couldn't get into the match. He's got pace, he pressed well, but for a team aiming to compete for Champions League and win trophies, is that enough? Chelsea's new model under Maresca is about efficiency, technical quality and structure. Jackson was a Mauricio Pochettino signing, thrived in chaos, in transitional play where it was end-to-end. Under Enzo Maresca, where pattern of play matters more, where striker need to hold, link and finish with calmness. Does Jackson really fit? There is another side to this, the business side. Jackson arrived for £32 million last 2 summers. If Chelsea sell now, they could make 20 to 30 million profit, helping with the PSR compliance, clearing the pathway for new arrivals. It's smart business, harsh maybe, but smart. The reality is Chelsea are moving ruthlessly this summer. 2 new strikers coming in doesn't just mean more competition. It means someone has to go. And right now, that someone looks like Nicolas Jackson. Big development out of Stamford Bridge this week. According to the guidance box, Chelsea could be heading for another summer clearout with over a dozen players on the chopping block. Some of these make sense, others honestly, that makes no sense at all. Let's break it down. So here is the list of potential outgoing as per guidance. Robert Sánchez, Petrovic, Renato Vega, Ben Chilwell, Axel Disasi, Wesley Fofana, Kenan Drewsby-Hall, Konichukwu Emeka, Leslie Gochukwu, Raheem Sterling, Christopher Nkunku, João Félix, Madueke. That's 13 names, nearly half a squad. Some players were expected, some are genuine shocks. But here is the logic behind some of the madness. So let's go deeper. Let's start with the 2 that doesn't sit right with me. Petrovic. He was a Strasbourg player of the season, and honestly one of the best keepers in League 1. He had the highest save percentage in the league, kept them in so many games and showed his shot-stopping ability all season. So now Chelsea want to sell him. It makes zero sense, unless there is a twist, and here it is. Chelsea are likely backing Philippe Jorgensen as their long-term number 1. With Robert Sánchez also up for sale, it looks like the club are going all in on a new goalkeeper project. Petrovic might be a victim of overlapping profile and the need to trim the squad to raise funds, even though purely on merit, he doesn't deserve to go. As for Madueke, again bizarre. He had moments last season where he looked unplayable, direct, tricky, unpredictable. He brings something different to the squad. His output isn't elite yet, but he's still young and improving. Selling him now feels premature, unless Chelsea has taken up the right wing with other plans. Don't forget Estova is coming, Sancho who was on loan, and there are also interest in top-level wingers. So once again, it might not be a talent issue, just squad balance and finance. Now this one hurts. Wesley Fofana. There's no denying the talent. On his day, he's a Rolls-Royce defender, strong, composed, technically sound, but the reality is brutal. He's had 3 serious injuries in 3 seasons, and at this point, Chelsea can't afford to carry injury risk on high wages. If their interest and the price is right, a sale might actually be logical. Even if emotionally it feels wrong, football is ruthless. This is one of the cases. Some names, not surprising. Sánchez failed to convince as a number 1. Chilwell not wanted by Maresca. Disasi struggled in possession, may not suit Maresca's system. Chukwu Emeka and Ugochukwu, talented but depth player at best. Sterling, high wages, low impact. Makes sense to scash him. Nkunku and Felix, one is very injury prone and one doesn't fit the new tactical setup. Even Renato Vega, despite being a top talent, just hasn't made the step up. The move to Juventus and back seem to have stalled his momentum. So why is this massive exodus on the table? Simple profit sustainability rules. Chelsea need to raise funds and lower the wage bills. But more than that, this is about tailoring the squad to Maresca's system. A system that is heavily structured, positional and possession based. Players who don't fit technically, tactically or physically will be shown the door no matter their reputation. This is about building a coherent squad, not just a group of talented individuals. So yeah, this summer could see Chelsea squad ripped apart, rebuilt with surgical precision. Some of the name might hurt, some might confuse us, but if the club are serious about backing Maresca, these bold decisions are probably just the beginning. Now this is big. Chelsea have officially made a move for one of the best goalkeepers in the world. According to ever-reliable Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea approached AC Milan to sign Mike Maignan as new goalkeeper. Maignan hasn't signed a new contract at the club, and Chelsea are aware of the situation. He's always been high on Chelsea's list, with clubs in top. Decision up to Milan. Let's break this one down, because this has the potential of completely redefining our goalkeeping hierarchy. Let's not get it twisted. Mike Maignan isn't just good, he's elite. He's been the backbone of AC Milan since arriving from Lille, a key part of the team that won the Serie A in 2022. One of the most complete goalkeepers in Europe. Unreal shot-stopper, dominates his area, insanely good distribution, commands the backline, huge personality. In many ways, Maignan is exactly what Chelsea has been looking for since peak Courtois. A true presence behind the sticks. Now look, you know where I stand. I've always said Petrovic deserved to be our number one, and rightly so. He came in during a chaotic season, handled the pressure, proved himself, the best goalkeeper in Ligue 1, while on loan at Strasbourg. Clutch save, brave in one-on-one, tactically sound. But let's be real, when a world-class goalkeeper like Maignan becomes available, you go for him. This isn't about disrespecting Petrovic, it's about raising the ceiling of the team. Petrovic might still have a big future, but Maignan is a Champions League level winner. If Chelsea want to compete with the best, this is the kind of ambition you show. And there is more to it. If Chelsea do sign Mike Maignan, it's not just about the short term. It's a development platform for the future. You have got Filip Johansson, raw but talented. You have got Teddy Sherman-Lowe in the youth team. You have got Mike Penders, another goalkeeper talent in pipeline. Letting these guys learn from Maignan day in, day out, that's invaluable. Just like Ederson helped shape Ortega and Stefan at City. This is about building a complete department, not just one keeper. This interest in Maignan tells us one thing. Chelsea aren't just messing around this summer. Petrovic, Sánchez reportedly up for sale. The club wants one clear number one who fits the stand, a ball-playing, high-line sweeping, commanding goalkeeper. Maresca demand technically excellent from every position, and Maignan ticks every box. The potential fee likely in 20 to 30 million range. But if you are serious about returning to the top, you make big investments in big positions. But Chelsea only value him for 10 million. So there is the reality. As much as I rate Petrovic, I can understand why Chelsea might cash in. Especially if the end goal is to bring in someone like Maignan level. Would it be ruthless? Yes. Would it hurt fans who believe in Petrovic? Definitely. But would it make Chelsea a better team tomorrow? 100%. Breaking news. And it's not the one that Chelsea fans wanted to hear. According to The Athletic, the story between Jadon Sancho and Chelsea is officially over. Sancho leaves Chelsea as there is no agreement on personal terms. Chelsea will pay 5 million penalty clause. Jadon Sancho returns to Manchester United. It's done, finished, no permanent deal, and honestly, I'm gutted. Let's talk about why this deal collapsed and why Sancho's short time at Stamford Bridge may go down as the case of what could have been. Let's rewind. Sancho arrived last summer on loan from Manchester United. With his reputation tattered and his confidence at rock bottom, he had a point to prove, and under Enzo Maresca, he found himself again. Not as a superstar, not as a savior, but as a reliable, intelligent, creative forward who gives Chelsea balance in final third. 41 appearances across all competitions, 13 goal contribution, goal and assist. Played a key role in Chelsea UEFA Conference League triumph. Helped us finish strong in the Premier League to qualify for Champions League. He worked hard off the ball, showed clever movement, gave Maresca someone who understands positional play. He wasn't just flashy, he was effective. So what happened? Well, this one wasn't about football, it was about money. Sancho and Chelsea board couldn't reach an agreement on personal terms. And for what has been reported, the salary demand was the deal breaker. Let's not forget, Sancho earns close to 300k at Manchester United. That was fine for 1 year while on loan. But on a permanent deal, Chelsea simply weren't willing to match that. And honestly, you see both sides. From Sancho's camp, he's built his value, proven himself, and wants to be compensated accordingly. From Chelsea's side, they are building a wage structure, trying to avoid overpaying, especially for players who aren't guaranteed to be world-class starters. So in the end, it comes down to finance, and Chelsea decide to walk away. But let's be real, this one hurt. Sancho had more to give. He looked happy, he looked like he belonged, connected with the fans, he understood Maresca's idea, he gave us calmness and quality in final third. And this was a mature, developed version of Jadon Sancho, likely never to wear a Chelsea shirt again. Sancho returned to Manchester United, but don't expect him to stay for long. Multiple clubs across Europe are interested, and is likely to be on a move again. A return to Dortmund, a fresh start in Spain, it's an open season. As for Chelsea, well, this leaves us one winger down, and suddenly the question starts to emerge. Does this mean Madueke stays after all? Will Extova be fast-tracked into the first 10 minutes? Are Chelsea now back in the market for another wide creator? The dominoes will fail, but for now, we know one thing. Sancho's chapter at Chelsea is closed. Sancho might not have lit the world up, but he was solid, reliable, and finally happy again. And in the end, it wasn't form, it wasn't fit, it wasn't tactics. It was money, plain and simple. João Félix, remember him? Because honestly, I almost forget he's still our player. But now, according to fresh report from Record Portugal, his next move is finally coming into focus. Talks are intensifying between Benfica and Chelsea over João Félix' return to Portugal. And he has never been so close. And now listen, the sign has been there for a while. But this this feels like the end, and probably for the best. João Félix's spell at Chelsea ended a long time ago, but the aftermath of the deal still lingers. Let's not forget, Chelsea signed him permanently from Atletico for 40 million last summer. A pure ownership level signing with zero impact from the manager. Reports have since claimed Maresca never wanted Félix. He didn't fit the style, he wasn't part of his vision. Now Félix looks set for a return to Benfica, the club where he started. And honestly, this is probably the right move for all parties. Benfica want to bring back a fan favourite. Félix gets to revive his career in a familiar environment, away from the chaos of Premier League. And Chelsea, they finally get the chance to offload a player who has no sporting role under Enzo Maresca. No confirmation yet on whether this will be a permanent loan with option or sell-on agreement, but make no mistake, talks are accelerating, and this time the feeling is mutual. Look at Chelsea's current squad, you will understand why Félix never stood a chance. Fofana has made the creative turn his own. The new philosophy under Enzo Maresca demands high-intensity pressing, structured play, tactical discipline. All areas where Félix has struggled. Félix is a luxury player in a system that can't afford luxuries. Let's call it for what it is. The João Félix transfer was a costly mistake. £40 million shared out. No resale value unless Benfica agrees a favourable deal. No fit in the current system. But it's done. And now Chelsea are trying to clean up the mess. The potential deal with Benfica might not recoup all the money, but will free up wages, open a slot, and most importantly, bring clarity to a situation that dragged on for too long. So yeah, Félix is on his way out. No bitterness, no drama, just one of those transfers that hasn't worked out. So that's the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. We go be.